Okay, so we are going to learn about an artist today. Her name is Yayoi Kusama. I know it's kind of difficult to say. It's hard for me to say anyway. But a little bit about her because I really want you guys to make some art today. She is 89 years old. This is a picture of her that you see here. She is a Japanese artist, and she has a really cool story of being born, and her parents living in Japan really didn't want her to explore herself as an artist. And so she was always sneaking art supplies and things like that. But I'll teach you a little bit more about her when we get back. But one of the cool things about her is that she holds the record for the living female artwork to have an artwork auctioned off for $7.1 million. That is the most for a living female artist, which is incredible. And she's also known as the Queen of Spots, which I will show you why. So one of the biggest things that she's known for are her infinity rooms. So if you look here, I'm going to put my mouse along here. This is a square cube of mirrors, and it's just reflecting all four sides of the wall. These walls aren't very big, but when you go into them, it really takes you into like a whole different world. So this is what she's most known for. This is a tiny room. So you can kind of see where the floor is here, but it's like a 3 by 6 foot room is all. Like not very, it's not very big at all. But it's called an infinity room because her use of mirrors and lights and reflection makes it look like you're going on forever and ever. And they are the coolest thing ever. Last year when I was in Los Angeles, I actually got to see one of Yayoi Kusama's rooms, and it was so cool. Here's a picture of, now that doesn't look as good as this picture, so I wanted to show you that first. But this is a picture of me with my brother and sister in the infinity room. So you're standing on mirrors, and it's just an experience. So her work is absolutely incredible. But you can see how, because of the mirrors, we're facing all sorts of directions, and it's just a really, really cool experience. So, here's another one of her most popular infinity rooms where she's using these pumpkins with the spots. And I said she was the Queen of Spots because you notice if we flip through, dots or spots really characterize her work. So she's really known for this kind of funky pumpkin shape using the spots. And look, you can see the pumpkins on the ceiling. It's a really, really cool image to have. So we are going to be doing an artwork based on this pumpkin form that you see here. So I have a drawing that we're going to do, and we're going to go ahead and get started on that now. So today for our activity, we are going to be creating work like Yayoi Kusama, okay? So we just learned a little bit about her, and I'm going to help you guys get started with this. So the first thing that you will need, and we're not ready for that yet, we'll get these passed out in a second, is we're going to actually do this on a piece of music, okay? So you will each get one of these. Some of them are front and back, and you can choose to use whatever side that you want, okay? So the other thing that you are going to need is we are going to need watercolors. Now these are a little bit different watercolors than what we've used before. These are the Uli metallic watercolors. You can kind of see that a little bit. These are in the pink bin by the sink. You will also need a water cup and a brush also by the sink, and it wouldn't hurt to get a paper towel as well. So those are the materials that you will need to get started with our project. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video right now so you can work. Okay, now that you have your materials, we are going to get started. So I am going to draw on just this blank piece of paper first so that you can see. You guys will be drawing directly onto your your piece of music paper, okay? So there's going to be two options for this. You can create a pumpkin drawing in that style that Yayoi Kusama uses where they're kind of a little squiggly. Or you might choose to have one that's a little bit not so squiggly but kind of more ovals. I will show you how to do both very quickly. So first off, for drawing on this big one, you are just going to start with an oval shape right in the center. Now each time, then after that, the sides are going to get smaller. So they're going to mirror each other. So this is the big one that I've started with here. So over here, I'm going to make kind of a curved oval. Notice it's a little bit shorter than that first one. I'm going to do that over here as well. And if it's not the perfect same exact size, not a big deal. This one I'm going to do even smaller. So now you have your basic pumpkin shape, and you can just add a stem on there however you want, okay? So if we're doing more of the squiggly, funky kind of pumpkin, I kind of like that one kind of like this. I'll draw directly on the paper here. You're just gonna add a little bit more movement to it. There's really no wrong way to do it. So still start kind of big in the middle. It kind of looks like a bowling pin, if you will. Then I'm gonna do the same thing, smaller, smaller, smaller over here on this side. Add my stem, okay? So those are your two options. If you're drawing along with the video, great. If we need to pause it to draw, that is fine too. But let's take a second to get whatever type of pumpkin we want drawn done. So once you have this all drawn, you are ready to paint. Now these paints are a little bit different than watercolor. I know it might be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to show you as best here that you can. These colors actually are like a little bit more metallic than the regular watercolors, and so they'll have a really kind of cool, almost metallic, not quite sparkly, but they just have a really cool shine to them, okay? So as you start to paint these in, you are going to want to pick a set of colors. So I have some test sets here that you guys can use and pick from. Look at those posters over by the sinks. Those are a really good one to reference to as well. But I'll have this hanging up on the board so you guys can look at it as well. But you'll see that I've picked colors that all blend and mix together really well, and that's just gonna make your pumpkin look a little bit more interesting. So I know that we are doing a pumpkin, but you don't necessarily have to do it orange. That is okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do a different color than what I've already done. So I already have the red to orange to yellow. That's the kind of combination I did on this one. And then this one I did the blue to purple to pink. So that will be a good option for you. I think for this one, I'm gonna switch it up and do this yellow, yellow, green, and green, okay? Actually, maybe I'll do this one, green, yellow, and orange. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward through the video so that you guys can see your next steps, and then you'll be ready to paint. Oh, sorry, before we fast forward, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so this paint, you do need to make sure with your water cup, get the colors wet that you are going to be using. Okay, so I'm just blotting that into it. I'm not touching my brush to it. Okay, so I am going to go ahead, and now I will fast forward through this video and you guys can just watch. Okay, so once it's all filled in and painted, you can see here Do you see how, I'm going to move this up. The orange, which is the first part I did, is already kind of starting to dry. You can see that the yellow and green is still a little bit wet, but it will dry pretty quickly, okay? So then, once you have that, you are going to decide what kind of design pattern you're going to use. You can use the traditional dots that Kusama uses, or you might choose to create your own patterns and designs for your pumpkins, kind of like the start of this example here. If you are choosing that route, all you are going to do, I have a folder of patterns that you can use. Inside of those patterns, there are a variety of patterns that you can look at and use to help you out, okay? So those you can use, and that's just kind of up to you. But once it is dry, you are going to start going over your design with a black Sharpie. And I'm just going to do the traditional Yayoi Kusama look with the dots, and so I'll speed this up here so you can kind of see what it will look like. One of the things that you'll notice, I'm going to try to kind of curve around with the lines of the pumpkins that I made, so kind of keep that in mind. So if it's curving this way, curve your dots or your designs with that as well. Okay, so now we have our finished example. Depending on the color, the design you can do, they'll look totally different. And once again, you can either choose to do those dots, or you can get one of those pattern packets and do a funky design as well. So good luck. You might not get to all of this part today, and that's okay. So we'll add the designs later if we don't get to that. Good luck.